Welcome to Her Cancer, Our Story, a raw and honest podcast about facing stage 4 metastatic breast cancer as a couple. Welcome to episode 5. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kaela, and this is our story.
And thank you so much for taking the journey through the first 4 episodes with us. Just a reminder for anybody that just happened to find us, or if you haven't already followed us yet, we can be found on all the major podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We're on Amazon Podcasts, and we just found out that we're on iHeartRadio Podcasts. I don't
Yeah,
even remember doing that.
I discovered that today.
Yep. All right. So yeah, definitely, if you can follow, rate, review, do all that stuff. That gets us pushed out there a little bit. And Kayla really wants this story to reach anyone that it can help. So that's the best way to get our story out there.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so let's start with a little update. There's not much to talk about as far as appointments goes, but we did have one today.
Yeah, so today was the last one, hopefully for a while. That was at the hospital in the major city that we live near. So we went down there together. It was just to get my second Zoladex shot, which is the shot that keeps me in menopause, and um, also had monthly blood work. And so the shot is big.
It's really
You
big.
had no idea.
I mean, I remember you talking about it like it's a half the size of a grain of rice, but it never really computed till I saw it there.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to look at it, but I did see a picture of it sometime in the last week or two, I think, comparing it to like a dull pencil tip, and it's like that goes into my stomach. That is not
Yeah,
exactly
and
comfortable.
it's not like an injection like it's a fluid coming out. It's like a little
It's like an
like a
implant, I
yeah, like a
guess.
little pill or something. I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
They actually like push that into you.
Yeah, so got that. Got some of the results back from my blood work, and everything looked good. I think like my white blood cell count was a little high, but I'm still sick from 2 weeks ago. If you listened to that episode, I thought I was getting better, and now I'm on an antibiotic for a sinus infection. So hopefully in the next couple days I'll feel better. Um, and then my glucose was super low.
Very low. They called you
Yeah,
about it.
and wondered how I was feeling, and I was like, "No, I'm good. I actually ate lunch on my way to get blood work." And she was very worried that I was hypoglycemic and told me, "If you get any of these symptoms, you need to go to the ER." And I was like, "I promise I'm fine. I think it was just a lab error."
Yeah.
So, and the I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna say it wrong, but there's, like, one marker that they look at that's, like, estradiol.
As we all know, I'm really good at pronouncing things, so I can help you out here. Go ahead and you try now.
I just did, so can you fix that?
Nah, you said it perfect.
Do you know how to say it? Did
No,
you know?
absolutely
Okay.
not.
So, again, I don't actually know that that's correct, but I was an 18, and that's considered postmenopausal. So my Zoladex is working after one shot, and the letrozole that I'm on, which is that aromatase inhibitor daily pill, I have been taking that for a week. So far, I don't think I really have any side effects. I've been tired, but I have a sinus infection too. So, like, I don't know. And I'm just not sleeping well because we have children.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you had any side effects or symptoms, but
Nothing that I'm thinking, "Ooh, that's definitely connected."
yeah,
Again, maybe the fatigue, but I feel like there are other factors that could be coming into play, so and it's not debilitating.
yeah. You're not like stiff or anything.
No,
Hmm. Okay. All right. You're handling menopause very well.
so far. Obviously, I know side effects can come on anytime, but I'll take it.
One thing that happened today at the appointment that I thought was very interesting when you went back to get your injection, they did like your typical like blood pressure and weight and all that stuff. And then they offered a sandwich.
I know. What was
She's like,
it? Chicken salad
yeah,
or I forget what the other one
yeah,
was.
something.
You were probably hindsight, you probably wish I said yes because
I
you're
I was
starving.
very yeah, I didn't eat because it was a 1 o'clock appointment.
I ate. I bought lunch on our
Well,
way there.
I know. But I wasn't paying $7 for a gas station, like a crappy gas station sandwich.
I was not gonna make it.
No, I get it. I get it. But next time you know, if you go back there, you'll have a sandwich waiting for you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's kind of so that's where we're at. The next thing we have is I guess you're just gonna keep taking that daily pill, and then you later in a couple of weeks, I think you meet again with the oncologist.
Yeah, like mid-March.
Yeah,
Sometime in between that too, I might start taking the other medication, but right now it has to go through like different approvals and also has to go through like a specialty pharmacy, I think. And I'm learning that if we get a bill or whatever, or we go to get it and they charge us an absurd amount of money, that I'm supposed to wait and then have
yeah,
them do some type of code or something. I don't know. So I guess we'll see what happens with that.
yeah, definitely. Okay, before we get started on new business, I wanted to touch up on a few things from last week. There was a funny story that happened when we met with the oncologist, and she was talking about the like symptoms and some of the side effects of some of the medicine that you're on going into menopause. And she's talking about stuff, and then she's like, and don't be surprised if there's a breakthrough period during this. And then she kind of kept talking. I'm thinking like a breakthrough period, like what do you mean like a breakthrough of like no symptoms? Like the cancer's not going to show up, like it's a breakthrough, but it's just like a period, like it's just a period of time. And like, so I had to stop her and I was like, What's a breakthrough period?"
And I knew immediately that you had no idea what she was
Oh my
talking
gosh, she looked at
about.
me like, "Bless your heart." And then she very politely started to explain the menstrual cycle to me. And I was very embarrassed. I was like, "No, no, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about a period of time. I'm good. I'm just gonna sit back here and you can forget
Oh,
that I'm in the
goodness.
room."
Yeah, I knew right away.
I know. Yeah. Um, we have a 3-year-old that has decided they don't want to go to bed tonight. So we're
Or any night recently.
Well, I know, but tonight, of course, they. So we'll see how this goes. We might have to pause a little bit, but that's the beauty of editing.
Do you
And
know how to edit yet?
I'm learning.
Do you know how to edit with an interruption in the middle of the podcast?
I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, alright.
Like I said, this is a learning process.
Yeah, I mean, it's only episode
5.
5.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. I think you had something too that something you wanted to. I guess like get
My
out to
eyes
the.
got really big for anybody
You
who
did,
can't
yeah,
see
and we
us because
literally
I
talked
don't
about it 5 minutes ago.
don't remember.
So this was what I think you were at the biopsy
Oh,
recently,
yeah.
and like the technician was asking you like,
Mm.
"Oh,
Oh,
so are
it
you gonna?"
wasn't the technician, it was the
The
radiologist doing my
radiologist.
biopsy,
Yes, yes,
like, putting the needle in the right place.
right.
Um, yeah, so she asked if I was gonna get a double mastectomy, and I'm laying there face down, like, she can't see me, I can't see her, I have no idea what she looks like, as she's prepping everything for this, and I'm not getting a double mastectomy because we've talked about it in previous episodes, that's not standard line of treatment for this. um, Stage 4, and, like, I'm the type of person that doesn't wanna make other people feel bad, and, um, so I didn't know, like, do I just say, "Oh, like, I'm not really sure," or whatever, but I did say, I was like, no, actually, it's in my bones, so, I will not be doing that."
That kind of sucked to have to say that, right? Or I don't know, like what? How did that make you
Yeah,
feel?
well, I you know how I am.
I know,
I felt very uncomfortable for her, not for myself, which I know
really.
is wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Um, but that's just my personality, and I need to work through some things with that. But basically, I feel like that tells me like she didn't read my chart completely.
Yeah, and I guess like,
Like it should anyway say that I am stage 4. Like that's my understanding. It should somewhere on there say that. And I know, like, working in a school, like, if there's, like, major things with a child, like, when you log in the thing, like, it'll be, like, very bold and in the front. Like, I feel like that should be an indication on there somewhere, like, on the chart. When they pull it up, it should be like, "Oh, hey, like, red flag warning, like, be careful, handle with care, like, don't say
yeah,
the wrong thing, don't be an idiot." Um, and, like, she meant well, like,
yeah, and I mean
it
she's not an
wasn't
idiot,
no,
obviously, but
that was not nice,
it's like,
but
and I don't know how like siloed these departments are if they
I know.
even have access to that or what, but I think it would be kind of nice that you don't have to explain that to people throughout the process. I remember even at the very beginning, like how much paperwork we had to fill out and you had to constantly write,
That was triggering.
breast cancer, diagnosis, and it's like, someone were like, "Why are you here?" Basically, like fill out the documents. Like, why I'm here. It's the same hospital, same company. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I again, like, I'm thinking back to those times where I had to repeat things and write it down multiple times, like, that was super triggering emotionally for me, and I was often, like, ending up in tears, and so I think they're lucky that I'm in a at a place where I can, like, handle saying it and, like, handle those moments without completely breaking down because, like I said, like, I am face down on this table, have to stay in a very still position while they're prepping me for this biopsy where, like, a needle is going into my body, and if I wasn't in a good mental place, like, that wouldn't have really gone well, so, yeah, I mean, any medical providers that are listening, just, like, look at the chart. Just
Yeah,
make sure you're not missing anything. And they were very sensitive to it afterward, like, they were very kind, but yeah,
yeah, definitely. It sucked. I'm sure. I'm sorry.
eh, it's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have one question for you today to start. You ready?
Maybe.
What have you done for yourself this week?
Um, mm, Good question. Have I done anything for
Uh,
myself? I'm not really sure. I've watched some trash TV.
okay.
I've said no to watching a trash TV show with you so that I could binge watch a trash TV show that I
Mm,
wanna watch.
yeah,
Sorry.
I know.
I'm currently watching Love Is Blind.
Love it.
Mike really strongly dislikes those types of shows.
It's come on.
Listen, I it is mindless. I
Very.
don't have to, like, worry about triggering things when I watch I mean, I guess I potentially could, but
Yeah.
anything could potentially, like, trigger something. Um,
Oh
which I
yeah.
think we should go back to that movie you had on last night.
I ended up finishing it, and
Did
I'll tell you
you?
what. Like it was hard.
Basically, it was about
It,
this
it's
lady going on the what is it?
PCT,
The
Pacific
PCT
Crest Trail.
trail, like, out in Washington, Oregon, whatever.
It goes all the way from Mexico to
Okay,
Canada.
sorry. Mike's obviously very passionate about the trail life. I'm not as well versed, but it
It's
she's
it,
going on this journey because her mom passed away and she passed away from cancer.
yeah, that's the bulk of it. And
Um,
it's
and
called the movie's called Wild, I think.
yeah, and it seemed like a good movie, but then at
Yeah,
one point when it was getting into the reason why she was going on this hike, I was like, this maybe isn't something we should be watching right now.
yeah, yeah. That it was hard to finish, but
So yeah, I've been watching trash TV,
understandable.
and I mean, I am getting ready to go on a little weekend with some friends. Is that what you were getting at?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so I mean, I guess, but that so you have a little bit of homework, and it's going to be easy for next week because you have this girls trip coming up. But I want you to get to the point where you can easily answer that question.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I can never easily answer that question. I
I
don't do a
know.
whole lot for myself
Well,
other than
you
doctor's
know,
appointments these
I
days.
think one thing I've been learning about this is there is a lot of self care and things that you need to do for yourself, and so I want to make sure that you're doing it.
Well, thank you. Maybe one thing I could say to you is that I haven't done the dishes.
No, you haven't.
I know that you have not been thrilled with me, but I think I basically told you today I have no interest in doing the dishes
I know.
anytime soon.
I know.
And
You're
I'm
playing
doing
that
some other
card, and
things, but like I don't want to do the dishes.
that's what can I say? What
You can say, "Okay, I'll take the dishes
that's
from
all I
you."
can say.
I mean, you do the dishes a lot. Like
I
I don't
know.
want it to
I
sound like
know.
you never help with them, but I think I'm at the point where I just don't want to do them ever.
Well, it's also been hard these last couple of weeks because we talk about a lot of support and everything, and we've been lucky for a while that we had a lot of support. People were coming down, and
Mm.
a couple people that were here like consecutive weeks are very like type A and always have to be busy
And they want to be
and they
helpful.
want to be helpful. So like we didn't have to do dishes for like 2 full weeks, and
We
they
didn't have
left
to
and
do a whole lot.
we're like, what
Laundry,
happens now? Like who's gonna do this?
I know. Like those
That's
people
yeah,
fold our kids' laundry, they fold our laundry, they put it away for us.
yep.
Yeah. So thank you everybody who takes care of us while you're here, but also you are enabling us to become people that can't do anything.
I know, I know.
It's not good.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Okay.
Parenting
Well,
through cancer.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna just throw out a disclaimer. This might get tough at times. Thinking about the kids with all of this is
I
the
know.
hardest part for me. So,
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, there's like, we're still early on, but we do want to kind of like provide updates on kind of like how we're handling the parenting side of things and what it's been like for us. Obviously, we're by no means experts on any of this stuff, but the whole point of this is just telling our story and,
Mhm.
hopefully it helps someone out there. I don't know.
Yeah, so, just a reminder, we have 2 boys. Um, Liam is 8 and Everett is 3. So about just under 5 years between the 2 of them, when we think about, like, their birthdays or whatever. So, obviously, young kids, cause challenges in general, just regular everyday life. So then you throw something like this in, and it just really creates some chaos. But then they also don't understand everything of like what's going on, so we have to act like everything's fine.
Yeah, our boys were kind of like they were very much in this from the very beginning. I mean, the day you found the lump, we were all upstairs in our bedroom. You were in the bathroom. When you came out, I was in the room with them. We were playing, and
Hmm.
from the moment, like obviously they're always a part of the story, but it was like immediately we had to deal with something very scary and immediately parent. And
Hmm.
at one point, like I think we mentioned this obviously in the first episode. We were on our way to go watch a movie, and it was Everett's first time, so there was a lot of excitement.
Hmm.
You know, and I remember at one point you're like, we have to pretend everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you as parents, like I always I want them to see us vulnerable at times, and I want them to know like the wide range of feelings and emotions that a human can have are normal and that's okay. That's especially important to me raising boys. Like you can be sad sometimes. Like you can get upset. It's not, oh, I have to be so tough all the time. Um like that's important to me, but at the same time, we can't put our emotions and stress on them all the time. And so I think that's where it comes down to like, yes, we can break down and be sad occasionally in front of them, but we have to hold it together. Um, so yeah, I mean, that was like the first test of that
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us. So I know we kind of talked about like what the movie was like, I think,
Oh yeah,
back when
yeah.
we
We
first like
did.
went through everything.
Yeah,
But then yeah, I mean, that from like December 7th through like the week after January 21st was probably the most difficult and challenging emotional time for me as an individual, but then like also for us as a family. And we're navigating all of this with 2 young kids who know nothing about what's actually going on. And I'm sure I mean, we tried our best. Like I absolutely will give us so much credit for that. And we did a really good job, but we weren't great. Like we weren't in a great place, I should say.
yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
meant.
yeah. Definitely. So I guess I want to ask you, like, what's been the most difficult part of parenting through this?
Um, I think a lot of people can relate whether you're going through something super challenging or not. Like the everyday stressors of life come in, and it can be really hard to like not get triggered by their feelings and emotions and like difficult behavior, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it, on a normal day-to-day basis. And like making sure that you are responding the right way and you are like teaching them the appropriate ways to handle big emotions and all of that. But then when you're going through something like this, like everything is magnified and it just makes it all the more difficult. So I don't know. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that part?
No, I just like I think what's like there's a lot of things that are difficult through this, and for me, it's a lot of the scary parts. Just thinking about like what could happen. Um, but I think it's just I don't think I haven't been the best parent
Hmm.
throughout all of this. I think I've like my fuse has been short, not like in a mean way. It's just like
We don't have much
I
patience.
Yeah, patience is definitely limited. Um, and I feel like, they knew, like, at least our oldest, like, had a feeling, like, he was aware of everything that was going on, like, that we were not here a lot, that people were constantly visiting. And I think that affected him in some ways.
Well, and I think he's very connected to me, like, emotionally. In general, he's like that with
For
people.
sure. Yeah.
But I think we have a very unique relationship in a way, and so I also work in the same school he goes to. So I was missing a lot of work because of appointments and things like that. So I think it was just weighing on him, and he didn't necessarily come to us and, like, say anything, which sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Um, but hindsight, it was impacting him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we did talk to Liam.
We did.
And this was after, like, once we knew it was stage 4, right?
Um, yeah, I think so because well, and I'm
'Cause you
like,
were
I'm relieved we did because I think the way that we would handle it if it was not stage 4 would have been very different than.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I kind of want to get into that in a little bit later, how, like, our plans changed a
Yeah,
lot, how they were going to be involved with this. But talking to him was, I was dreading it, but I knew it had to happen, because especially that, like, those 2 weeks leading up to the final diagnosis, like, you were missing like 3 days of school a week.
yeah.
And obviously, like you said, you guys go to the same school, so he knew that. Um, I guess let's talk about how we started that conversation with him. What resources did you use to initiate, like, to kind of frame that conversation?
Um, I mean, I did some Google searching. I I mean, I follow a lot of different parenting Instagram things and stuff like that. So I can't say for sure that I got something specific from there, but I think just in general, I've read things about like talking to your kids about grief, or about difficult topics or whatever that might be. And it's like, I think we practice a lot of giving them the information they need to know. And then if they ask questions, answering those questions, but not going beyond that. Because I think sometimes y- us as adults think they're going to ask all these things. So then we decide we're going to tell them all of these things, but they don't necessarily need to know all of that. And they're gonna ask what they're curious about, and then that's it. And, like, Liam is very much like that. Like, I think we've taken that, um, approach in the past a lot, and he doesn't necessarily ask what we think he's going to.
Yeah,
And if we had opened up, that can of worms, like, it could have led us down, and I'm not referencing this specifically, but just in general, like, about, random topics. It could have led us down a path that maybe we would have gotten like too carried away with. So I did turn to Chat GPT. I know that's not always like the best thing to do. And I know that it's not the best for our environment or whatever else, but um, I kind of turned to that for almost like a script in a way of how to do it. And that helped me figure out what we were going to do.
yeah. How did it go?
Well, I did most of the talking. I mean, you told me, right? Is that what you're asking? Like, how did it go talking to him?
Yeah, yeah. How was
I
it?
mean, you told me like I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to handle this, and that's okay. Like, I'm not. That's not. I'm not saying that to be like, oh, you couldn't deal with it. Um, I think I knew I would need to be the one to talk to him about it mainly. Obviously you were there and a part of the conversation, but I think I was able to keep it together. Um,
Yeah. So, he, like, asked very few questions. Like, he was kind of like doing his normal thing where he's like bouncing around, like,
yeah.
stop not moving while we were talking to him. And he's like, okay, all right, cool,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I didn't expect
Now,
that
also, I
really.
think, like, we didn't use the word cancer.
We didn't. And the more I've been thinking about it, like that's something you and I have to talk about more, just like how we want that to look over the next several months or whatever. That's for another podcast for another day, I think. But in the beginning, because life was so hectic and crazy and we were just still trying to wrap our brains around what was going on, we wanted to take baby steps towards that word, and didn't want to scare him too much. And so we were very careful with our words.
Yeah, we said pretty early on, like, we're not gonna use cancer just yet. Um, I'm I'm really scared when we do talk to him about that, because I do think, like, he knows Hooch, our dog, died from cancer,
Hmm.
and that really scares me, him making that connection.
Yeah, I think he also knows, like, my mom and my aunt went through it and they're doing well.
That's true.
Um, so I think it's just something we have to work through with him.
Yeah,
And
and eventually he's going to catch on, like, we have, like, some books around,
mhm.
we have this podcast,
Well, and I
and
think, we didn't necessarily know, like, right away how passionate I mean, I would say we, like, you're passionate about this now, like, how passionate we were going to become, and how much, not that this is, like, the only thing going on in our lives, but this is a big thing that's going on and that it will be forever. And so it's important to me, and I just I think it's gonna be silly to try to hide it. Like, he's gonna know.
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
but how can we shape that and frame it into a positive for him, and also use that as, like, a teaching experience for him? And I think there's ways we can do that. I just don't know that we have wrapped our brains around that yet.
I haven't, not at all.
And I think, we have a 3-year-old too, and we haven't talked to him about it at all. Like, it's just he's 3.
He's not gonna get
So,
it, yeah.
um, he cares about Elsa and his friends at school, and telling me that I'm either his best friend or I'm not his best friend every 5 seconds. So,
He's your typical second child. Oh my gosh, he is wild.
but then, like, all
And the
day the last
sweetest.
week or so, he's like, "Big hugs, can I have big
Oh,
hugs?"
I
And we'll just squeeze you so hard and,
yeah.
like, love on you all the time.
Yesterday before you got home, he's like, "Where's mama? I want mama." And
He is a love bug.
like, I'll be honest, like, those situations when he's doing that, like, it's really hard for me to, like, not think about, like, the dark, scary places,
I know.
like, when he's saying that in, like, a very innocent and just nonchalant way, it's like, part of me just thinks, like, what if the worst happens? And hearing him saying that, like, and it's not, "Oh, mommy will be home in a few hours."
Mhm.
That's the hardest part of all of this, like, I don't know what it would look like if it was just us going through this journey, but having 2 kids is, like, just such, I mean, that's probably the bulk of, I guess, like, my fear.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, losing you, like, the thought of that is, like, terrifying just for me, but, like, I'm an adult, I have some tools to handle that emotionally, but I don't know how to do that with kids. I don't know
mhm.
how they, like, that's just scares. Sorry, we're gonna have to put an E on this episode. It scares the shit out of me. Like,
No, I know.
I don't know how to do that. I don't want them to experience that. And I'm like, it breaks my heart knowing that you're probably thinking that too.
Mhm.
Like you, like, you're someone who was meant to be a mother. Like, like, being a mom is, like, just who you are, and to, like, someone like you've always meant to be. And it, it's just like, I hurt so much sometimes, like, worried about what you're feeling with all of this.
For the obviously, those you can't see me right now, but I have tears streaming down my face. Um, Sorry, yeah, that we should have probably prepped people that this was gonna be.
We did.
Well, I guess we did. I don't know that I thought I was gonna get this emotional, but yeah, I hate that they have to live with this um for the rest of their lives. And I hate that Everett is never going to remember a me before this. And that's been really tough to wrap my brain around. Um and like I don't know, it's just not fair. It's not fair to us, of course, but it's not fair to them. And like that's the hardest part of this. Like they didn't ask for this. And I hate that this is going to impact the mom that I am. Um and obviously my goal is to be here forever. And I'll do whatever I can to make that happen. But we have to be realistic of like we have to know that we have to prepare them for whatever the future will bring.
I,
Um,
I don't know how to do that,
I don't either,
and
and
I
we're
know,
only a
like,
month into this,
I
so
know, and like we're hope fingers crossed we're so far away from crossing that bridge, but and hopefully we never have to, But
yeah. Well, I mean,
I
I
think
told
like as
you. Oh, God.
go ahead.
I mean, the other night we talked about it. Like, I'm just constantly thinking, okay, 5 years from now, Liam will be 13, Everett will be 8. Okay, that's better than right now. And then, okay, but if we can get to 10 years from now, like Liam will be 18 and Everett will be 13. Okay, that's better than 5. And, I just like that's I don't know. And like I don't let myself sit in that too long.
No, because
It's too hard,
that
but
doesn't feel better.
no, it doesn't. Not
It
at all.
doesn't. It doesn't. Like I have
It's never enough time. Like
no, no,
it's yeah.
nope. So that's yeah. We say this is our story, and obviously, I think we're implying that it's you and me, but it's very much their story too, and
Uh-huh.
they're part of this and a huge part. Like I said, it's probably the hardest part. I can say I don't think I've been the best parent throughout all of this. I've been the best parent that I can be. So I guess that's all I can do. But it's hard. It's hard to parent on days when they're being difficult, and then we have like a tough day as far as like what's going on with cancer and everything, and it's just it's been very very difficult. Um, but I do think you know they're doing handling it very well, for
Mhm.
what they know. It's but looking forward to like next conversations is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But like you said, there are a lot of good things we do know about, like your mom and your aunt, and we can use that as an example. And obviously we're looking at, we're doing the books, and we're
Mhm.
going to look at there's professionals out there I think we need to consult with,
Mhm.
because I just don't know. I don't know how to do that at all.
Yeah, I mean there's no playbook for handling this. Just like, you're sent home from the hospital with these babies and it's like, what do I how wait, I'm supposed to what? Like I have to figure out how to get them through each day? Like
Yeah.
what? Um, and I think like that's what this is. And everybody's journey is so different. And so there's no easy way to do it. And even like side effects, like I'm talking about, the two meds that I'm currently taking, like I don't have the side effects that they warn you about. That doesn't mean I won't in a week or 5 weeks or 2 months from now, whatever it might be. Um, but right now I'm like, okay, like if this is how it is for a while, like I can manage this. Like I can be my normal self, but we just don't know. And like the unknown of everything, but the unknown of even like if I'm when I'm here, what life and like what the quality of life is going to be, like that is a hard thing for me to process for like down the road
It is, yeah. And
and
r-
how that will impact everybody.
yeah. Like right now, you're no different than you were 3 months ago.
Correct.
Like if we didn't go to the doctors, like if we didn't feel the lump, nothing would be different.
No, I would not know anything is wrong with me.
And
And that's like the hardest one, oh geez, one of the hardest things to process and understand. Like I feel fine. I have no symptoms.
yeah, and like I it's scary. I don't know what to think. Like what's it going to look like? Like when will like when will you look like or be like appear like you have cancer? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I hope we don't know, but
For a long
yeah,
time.
but
Um I know.
So, I guess what's next as far as the parenting front? You did mention like we're probably going to talk to him sooner than later. Like, is this like, do you feel like you're in a rush to talk to him, or do you kind of want to let it happen naturally?
I don't feel in a rush yet, but the last thing I want is for him to stumble upon a conversation, hear things, and get scared. And like, that's our fault then.
Yeah.
So we have to figure that out.
Yesterday, he was kind of like in a very like, he was seemed kind of like off a little bit. And I was so worried that he heard something at school or something. And
I
I,
mean, and luckily, like in my building, my principal has helped make it very clear to all of our staff that he doesn't know exactly what is going on, and has, with my blessing, like basically said, like, treat him like you would as if nothing was going on. So
yeah,
I
and that's
appreciate that, and like that's what I
that's
want.
great.
Like I want him to be treated just like anybody else in that building.
No, I'm not worried about coming from like someone that works there,
I
but
gotcha.
like
Okay.
like, you put this stuff out on Facebook,
Yeah.
and there are some people in the neighborhood that you're friends with on Facebook who might have kids in the school, and that's just what I would be worried about.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I mean, it could happen at any time. Like sometimes us talking, he might hear something, or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
family. Some of our families not the, not the
Yeah.
best at knowing when to have a conversation, but yeah, I agree. If he hears about it from someone other than us, like we failed at that point.
Mhm. Well, and I think like, you know, in April, we're going to a conference and we might be volunteering at a local golf outing for the local organization that that has worked with me. And there's just various things that are coming up in life that I want to be a part of. And I don't want to be like secretive around about that around him. Like, I talked in one of the very first episodes, like, I want our kids to be proud of me through all of this. And obviously, that pride can look in a lot of different ways, but like, one of those ways is like what we did to help bring like awareness or advocacy or whatever that looks like. Like, I don't want it just to be about my personal fight with this. Like, I want it to be like, how could we help others through this? Because that's something that's super important to me in general, just like helping others and like being a positive person in life. And I want them to like carry that on in their future and like become adults that are passionate about something, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this, but just passionate about something and like taking that out into the world and like making a difference. So I think it's important that we show them that now, like when they're young. And yes, we chose to ease them into it for now, but I think that was the best way we could cope at that time. But knowing that, yes, like we will have those bigger conversations with him, especially, but Everett as he gets older. But again, like I do want them to be a part of this with us. Obviously, like still holding boundaries and things like that. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely. You know, we had a different plan for how they were going to be involved with this early on. I remember before we knew it was stage 4, before we it was even really kind of a thought. We were talking about chemo, and you really didn't want to lose your hair, and we were talking about just
yeah. Now
everything.
I'm like, I wish I could just lose my hair now because
Yeah,
that would mean maybe that I'm not
yeah.
dealing with stage four.
But
Yeah,
we at one point, I asked you, I was like, "Are you gonna do like kind of like the party at the salon and like have everyone there?" And you're like, "I don't think I want to do that." And you're like, "I think I want to do it at home and have the boys cut it.
yeah,
Have them be a part of it," which I thought
yeah.
was a really cool idea, and I think that would have been a great way for them to kind of start on that. And I say this, and I hope, it's with the most care, but we didn't get to do that.
I
And
know.
I look, I think we can both agree that yes, we wish it wasn't stage 4, and that people in earlier stages don't have it easy. Like
Absolutely
and
not.
like
Yeah.
there's even with after the word cure is used, there's still so much people have to deal with
Mhm.
after the cure and after cancer, and it almost like never leaves, and there's always that fear that they have. But
Mhm.
I think it just sucks that we didn't get that opportunity to kind of go that route with the boys.
Yeah, and I mean, the reality is down the road that most likely will be. my reality, but it's just I don't want it now anytime soon. It's like I don't know, it's a weird thing to be like, well, I wish we were doing that right now because then that would mean it's like I'm going through chemo immediately because we're trying to like take the steps or whatever. But to like fight, stage 2 or 3 or whatever it might be. But now I'm like, okay, well, eventually that will be my reality, but I don't want that anytime soon because that means we're going through lines of treatment.
Yeah, so do you
And
wanna explain that a little bit more in case for someone who
yeah,
might not
so
know?
I think we've talked about it a little bit. Well, and one of the meds that I will start taking here soon, like, could cause some hair thinning. I don't generally, it does not cause like significant hair loss, but that is something that I might have to deal with, which that's one thing. Um, But then eventually like one of the lines of treatment, so that's basically like right now I'm gonna be on my first line of treatment. And then once that stops working, so it either progresses, well, I mean, really that's what it is. It progresses or it like goes to a different part of your body. That means that line of treatment's not working anymore. So then they go to the next line of treatment. And there's lots of lines of treatment, but the traditional IV chemotherapy is generally one that's later on. So because quality of life is a little bit reduced, side effects are greater, those types of things. So I think again down the road that will be my reality. I just don't want it anytime soon.
Right, yeah, we wanna stay in this first line as long as possible.
Yeah. But I mean, when the day comes, we'll figure it out and
Yeah,
we'll get through it together.
definitely. Ugh, well, that wasn't, as hard as I thought it would be, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It got hard there.
Yeah.
Um, so what's well, I guess, like, what's next on the horizon for you as far as treatments and appointments? I think we already mentioned you have, like, just a follow-up with your oncologist, and
Yeah, I have
then
a monthly oncology appointment. And then so every 28 days I'll get that injection that I got today and I'll get blood work. And the next med that I'll be taking is like 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And I think for that one, like they monitor my heart more. Um, they kind of keep an eye on like different numbers because it can cause like some liver things potentially. So obviously, like we're hoping for the best with both of those things. That's why I got the EKG done to get a baseline, so that
yeah,
when I start taking that med, like that's something that they'll check. I don't know how often, but um, my next big thing, I guess, is other than these routine things, will be my next PET CT, which will I would assume it'll be in June at this point because
yeah,
they want you on 3 solid months of treatment before they do it so they can really see like what's going on. So, obviously we'll be getting updates between now and then, but that's the big one.
yeah,
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean like some little things, I guess, but no, nothing major.
okay,
Personal big things. I'm going on a little girls' weekend with our college friends. We're just going down to DC. This was a trip that had been planned for months prior to all of this stuff happening in our life. We're all so busy, like one of the girls, Emily, who's the planner, kind of puts a survey out to everybody with all these dates for 6 months. And then we figure out which weekend is the one that the majority can come to. And I think we had one weekend where everyone was available. And it was this weekend coming up. And when everything started happening with our life, it was kinda put on pause. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it, obviously, at that point, and then once things kinda settled a little bit, she reached out to me and asked if I would still be up for it. I talked to you, and we said, "Yeah, I mean, I think, this is something that we should do."
yeah. You need it.
Um, they're great. I mean, it's helpful that we live in, like, a central location to everybody, so generally, we kind of try to meet around this area, which is helpful. So we're meeting down in DC, so that'll be fun. I think the weather on Saturday is supposed to be decent, so I'm just looking forward to time with them. And yeah,
Yeah,
I just saw most of them like
I know.
three
Yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah,
So yeah, but and we talk like every day, pretty
that's good.
much. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that. But yeah, so homework for, like, obviously you're gonna have next week's because that's the triple count. But I want you to think about what you can do for yourself each week.
Well, listen, I need to start working out again. So
Yeah, so do I. Yep. So
hopefully, I come on here and say that I worked out a few times.
okay, that's a good plan.
Audience, hold me to it.
Absolutely. I have
Oh
one.
wait,
Yeah.
this isn't going to come out till next week, huh?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, that's gonna be our day. So we're
All
gonna be
right.
dropping on Tuesdays.
Okay.
Um, I have a parting question for you.
Mhm.
So we're 5 episodes into this. We're almost 3 months into the whole cancer journey, and hopefully we have many, many years after this. But from December 7th, like you've mentioned before, like you're not that person anymore. You're a new person. What has cancer taught you about yourself?
I am much stronger than I ever fully realized. I mean, I've had things happen in my life that have kind of indicated like, yeah, like you are strong, like you can do this, you know? Um, I was an athlete, like I was a runner, some family things, but in those deep dark weeks, I really didn't know how I was ever going to come out on the other side. Like truly, I it seemed impossible. And I am in such a better place now. And it's a choice like that I am making. And everybody has their things that they struggle with and things that kind of break them down. And everybody has their own challenges and like how they process things and deal with situations. So I the way I'm handling it though, I think I'm really proud of myself. And it's not a one size fits all. Like everybody's going to handle something like this different. Um, but I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really proud of us too, but I wish I could go back and give myself a hug in December and January and just say like, "Yes, this sucks and it's the worst thing that'll ever happen to you, but you can do this and like you'll be a better person," because I already feel like I am a better person and um I don't know.
I'm very, very proud. I think I've mentioned this before in like text, like our group text with family and stuff. But I'm so proud of everything you're doing with this and how you're handling it. And you I think I'm so scared that like I would not have handled this the way you're handling it, and you do it with such grace, and you're approaching this with such positivity, and it's not like very much like Kayla that I've always known. You're doing something that's not for you, just for you. You turning this really crappy situation into how can I help other people. And I'm so proud of you for that.
Thanks. I think, you know, helping other people is helping me too. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm getting benefit out of this, obviously. And nothing against anybody who is, in a place that is really hard and they can't dig themselves out of the hole or whatever. Like it is not easy and I am, a unique individual just like everybody else is, their own person and they have their own demons or they have their own whatever that they're dealing with. But for me, I have just made the decision that my mental headspace like needs to overcome this negativity and this fear that can live so prominently if you let it. And I'm not saying it's like easy to control. Like when I say if you let it, it's like, oh, like, well, just say like it doesn't have a place. But it's a lot easier said than done.
Hmm.
Um, but I am choosing to believe that my positivity will overcome way more than just like the day-to-day emotional piece. Like I think I truly do believe somehow it will contribute to like the medical part. And um, you know, I don't know, it's like hard to kind of explain. But that's something like I've read about a little bit of just like I think it's like anytime you come up with a challenge. So like again, taking it back to running, like if you are trying to prep for a big race and you're telling yourself, I can't do this, and you're going out for a run and you're quitting every day because you just feel like you can't do it, are you going to finish that race? Probably not. But if you get over that hump and over that fear and just push through those hard moments, like you get to the point where you can do it and then you do it. And my race is never going to be over, but I think I have to look at it as like small increments. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like I have to that's how I have to just kind of take all of this. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but
Yeah, you're not
I
running
was
the
trying to
800
like make
meters
it make
anymore.
more sense. I don't know.
You did a good job.
But yeah, I think, you know, I it's it's a weird place to be. Like I don't look sick. Um, Obviously, a lot of people around us know that I have this thing going on. Um, and I hope that I can, and people have said, that it's like they're proud of me or, whatever. And I just appreciate that. And I hope that somebody else who's going through a hard thing, like feels comfortable to like come to me and say, like, how do you do that? Because I remember in those really dark days, like I didn't know how I was going to, but I had people who would say, like, you will get through it in some way. And just kind of give me those pep talks and help me get through minute by minute sometimes because that's where I was at a certain point. Like, how am I going to get to the next minute? Because it just felt impossible.
Yep.
So I'm here for anybody who ever needs to talk. I can listen. I can cry with you. Um, if you need that, I can give you a pep talk. I can, and I had various people in my life who like could cry with me, or they could be like, get it together, and I knew who I needed to go to depending on what I
Yep.
needed at that time.
Yep. You need both of those people in your life for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, I think we're at a good spot here to kind of wrap things up.
Okay.
All right. Like I said earlier, we're on all the major platforms, so please leave a review if you like this. If you don't like it, keep your mouth shut. Um,
We can't hold negativity here. This is a
yeah, right.
positive
Yeah, seriously,
platform.
what kind of jerk would
No,
leave a negative comment on a cancer
oh
podcast?
my gosh.
No,
But for
if
real,
you have constructive criticism,
you
I'm
like
happy.
text it to
Yeah,
us
I'm
or like
happy
message us.
happy to deal with
We'll
that.
take it on the side.
But also, if you're out there and you have a similar story and you're going through this, we keep saying you're not alone. We'd love to have some guests on sometime and tell their story and relate it to ours and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
and like you don't have to be a stage 4 person either. Like, I don't
right,
know. I think
yeah.
we're open
I th-
to any type of
I mean, look, this is
thing.
this is I don't say we're a cancer podcast, but we talk about supporting people
Hmm.
through heavy, hard things and be doing this as a couple and everything. So
And we're building this as we go. Like we don't really know.
yeah. Oh,
We
yeah,
don't really
yeah.
have an end goal with this. I think we're
No,
just kind of
there's no
experimenting
blueprints.
and yeah.
Absolutely.
But
So
and I think, we've talked about having like a couple family members on or just anybody who I guess who's open to
yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely.
So we do hope to have some guests at some point.
Yeah, nobody wants to listen to me talk that much. But yeah, so I think that's where we're going to wrap things up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's
Good
it.
luck with the boys this weekend. We'll
Yeah,
be able to recap how that went
it'll be
on our
great.
next one. I
It'll be
know.
super
They'll be
awesome.
great.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.